These are some coordinating cardstock pages that I'm going to be putting the magnetic strips on, and right now I'm just using the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper on the 1/2 inch side. The other side punches a 1/4 inch corner. I'm pressing in the number 3 and number 10 pegs in the cinch to do the top and bottom holes, and I'm placing all 5 sheets of my cardstock in and making the 2 outside holes. Then I pull out the number 3 and the number 10 pegs and I adjust it for the center hole. I want to use the number 6 peg, so I'm just pulling the slider out. It happened to be that if I match the 9 inch up with the 3 1/4 inch on the slide ruler and use this number 6 peg, it was perfect for the center hole. And then now I had to cut these magnetic strips. These are 6.5 by 6.5 pages, and so I cut these magnetic strips down to 2 inches by, I tried to get them 6 1/4, but it's really difficult to cut these thick magnetic strips, so the cuts don't seem to be very even, but it does the job anyway. So I'm just adhering them to the page. I matched up the cardstock with the lines on my cutting mat so that I could put the magnetic strips on evenly. This is just to show you that the envelope liners framelits fit perfectly on the 6.5 by 6.5 inch pages. And the magnetic strips are pretty strong, so you don't have to worry about the framelits falling out. Now I'm going to show you how I did the single pocket pages. I'm just scoring 1/2 inch on each of the 2 long sides, and then I'm going to turn it and score at 3 1/2 inches. And I'm using the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which is perfect for these small measurements. And now I'm lining up my cutting blade with the 3 1/2 inch mark, which is where one of my score lines is. And I'm just cutting from the 3 1/2 inch mark all the way up on the 2 sides. And then I'm just going to trim these away. Now I'm just going to fold on the 3 1/2 inch score line and use my bone folder, and then I'm turning it over. I'm making these score lines crisp so that when I put the Tombow Mono multi-glue on, it won't be difficult to get the tabs to stay on. And I'm going to be using those same tiles that I used in my last video to put pressure down to hold these tabs down while the glue dries. This glue dries really fast, so I just lay them on there, and when I do a lot of pages at once, I just put the glue on, lay the tiles down, go on to the next page, and by the time I'm ready to glue the next page, the previous page is already dry. So now I'm just using the number 6 peg to punch the center hole on these pages, and I want the pages, the pocket, to face the magnetic sheet, because that's where the instruction the instruction insert is going to be facing the Framelits dies that they're for. So I'm making the holes actually on the right side so that when you turn the pages, the pocket is facing the magnetic strips. And now I'm going to do the other two holes. And I'm just making sure those pegs are right where I want the holes to be. So now I'm taking that corner chomper again and I'm rounding the corners, making 1/2 inch rounded corners on each of these pocket pages. And I'll speed the video up here. Now for the first page I'm actually making a double pocket page. There's going to be a pocket on each side of this page. This takes up a whole 12 by 12 sheet, but these pages are super easy to make. So they're super fast, super easy, there's no gluing. So I just scored at 6 inches and made another score line at 3.5 inches. And now I'm just folding along the 3.5 inch score line. And I'm lining the page up with the lines on my cutting mat just to make sure that I am folding it evenly. And now I'm folding on the 6 inch score line. Now I'm just cutting off the excess. Since my pages are 6.5 inches tall, I'm just cutting this pocket page down to 6.5 inches tall with the pocket. And I like to use these book rings because you can take them on and off. The first couple packages here, the black ones and the off-white ones, they're from another brand, but I just keep them all in the same box for easy access. And these are just 1 inch book rings. You should be able to get them from any stationery store. I like to have a double pocket in the front. I think it looks better aesthetically than having the back of a single pocket page showing as you open up the book. And now I'm just clipping these rings on. You can dress it up a little bit by tying some pretty ribbon to these book rings. And I like to add a little label on the front that says Framelits Keeper or a nice sentiment. So now I'm just taking one of my Framelits sets from Stampin' Up! And I'm putting the instruction sheet in the pocket, and then this is just 2 of the Framelits from the Festive Flurry collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.